Tears are often dismissed by the world as weakness, but for the chosen one they are sacred. When a chosen one cries, it is not just an emotional reaction. It is a spiritual event that resonates through realms seen and unseen. Think of tears as drops of divine energy, carrying not only pain but also encoded frequencies of transformation. Many underestimate the power hidden in sorrow, but the universe itself bends to the vibration of a chosen one's weeping. It's not ordinary sadness. It's the unraveling of cosmic threads that can shift timelines, heal wounds, and awaken destinies. History and spirituality alike reveal how tears have long been associated with divine breakthroughs. In ancient texts, prophets, mystics, and healers were often moved to tears before miracles occurred. Their tears were not signs of defeat, but indicators of alignment with the deepest truths of existence. In the same way, your tears as a chosen one carry signals of change, sending ripples into the spiritual dimension where angels, ancestors, and unseen forces take notice. They become a prayer too deep for words. Imagine for a moment the last time you cried, not the quick tears of frustration, but the deep, soul-crushing sobs that left you empty yet strangely lighter. Did you notice what followed? Perhaps clarity emerged, or a door opened, or someone unexpectedly reached out. That is no coincidence. Those tears created shifts in the unseen. They carried messages that the heavens could not ignore. Crying may feel like breaking, but for the chosen one, it is the sound of becoming. Even science confirms that not all tears are the same. Emotional tears, unlike those caused by dust or irritation, release stress hormones and toxins, literally cleansing the body. But beyond biology, something deeper occurs. Your tears carry electromagnetic frequencies that shift atmospheres. Just as the earth trembles with storms before it releases rain, your soul trembles with tears before it births transformation. The tears are the evidence of your spirit expanding beyond limits. If you've ever been told that crying makes you weak, this is your reminder that for the chosen one, crying is a weapon. It is warfare. It is release. And it is one of the greatest proofs of your humanity and divinity intertwined. Do you agree that tears could be more powerful than words? Share your thoughts in the comments. Your story may encourage another chosen one walking through their own valley. And if this message resonates, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to Anointed Era for more life-changing revelations. When a chosen one cries, those tears become a form of communication too deep for ordinary language. Words often fail when pain, love, or revelation hits the spirit at its core, but tears never lie. They flow directly from the heart, bypassing the masks we wear, and speak to both heaven and earth in ways silence cannot. For the chosen one, crying is often prayer in its purest form, a raw and unfiltered transmission that carries frequencies straight into the throne room of God. Consider how many times you've tried to explain your pain, only to feel misunderstood. Yet when tears come, they say what explanations never could. In those moments, heaven bends down to listen, because tears are a sacred vocabulary. Angels move when chosen ones cry, because their sorrow is not ordinary, it's prophetic. The universe itself records those tears, almost like drops of ink writing destiny into existence. So the next time you cry, don't see it as losing control. See it as entering a conversation too deep for human comprehension. Chosen tears are not wasted. They are stored, remembered, and responded to. Ordinary people may cry from frustration, but when a chosen one sheds tears, there is a spiritual weight attached to every drop. It's as though the universe pauses to acknowledge the depth of what you carry. Chosen ones are often burden bearers, carrying the pain of families, communities, or even generations. So when they cry, they're not just releasing personal emotions. They're releasing collective pain that has been sitting in silence for decades, even centuries. Many chosen ones feel this heaviness without understanding it. Have you ever felt like your emotions were too strong for just your own experiences? That's because you are carrying spiritual weight. Your tears become intercession, lifting burdens not only from yourself but also from others connected to your destiny. This is why you often feel lighter after crying. It's not just about emotional relief. It's about spiritual release. The tears of a chosen one can mark the breaking of generational cycles. They can be the trigger that dissolves chains of poverty, trauma, or rejection that plagued families for years. You may think you were just crying over your own heartbreak, but heaven knows those tears were breaking strongholds for your bloodline. If you've ever cried and later noticed healing or change in your family, know this: your tears were working miracles. The universe has laws, but it also has sensitivity. When a chosen one cries, creation itself feels the vibration. This is why nature often mirrors human emotion. Rain falls, winds shift, and stillness comes in moments of great sorrow. In the same way, when your tears fall, unseen dimensions take note. The energy released during crying carries a magnetic pull that can attract healing, opportunities, or even divine interventions you never expected. Think of the last time you reached rock bottom and cried out of desperation. Did something happen shortly afterward that seemed like more than coincidence? Perhaps a door opened, or a person entered your life at just the right moment. That was no accident. That was the universe responding to the energy of your tears. For the chosen one, crying is like sending out a frequency that heaven cannot ignore. Even science agrees that emotional release alters vibrations. Studies show that tears reduce stress, stabilize the body's energy, and shift mental states. But in the spiritual sense, tears are more than healing tools. They are calls for alignment. They tell the universe that something must change, and the universe listens. Do you believe your tears have ever shifted your reality? Leave a comment and let's talk about it together here on Anointed Era. For many, crying feels like surrender, but for the chosen one, tears are weapons of warfare. They are not signs of weakness but evidence of battle. Every tear shed in prayer, in heartbreak, or in quiet moments of exhaustion is counted as part of your spiritual fight. The enemy may try to silence you, but tears speak louder than any voice because they are born of truth. In the spiritual realm, tears are like arrows, silent but piercing. They dismantle strongholds, weaken demonic forces, and invite divine protection. When you weep in faith, you're not falling apart. You're calling down armies of angels to fight for you. Have you noticed how peace often follows a genuine cry? That's because something was shifted in the unseen realms. So never again believe the lie that crying makes you small. As a chosen one, your tears terrify the darkness. They send signals to heaven that you are in battle, and heaven always responds. Next time you feel tears coming, don't hold them back. Release them as your weapon. When a chosen one cries, healing begins, sometimes in ways they don't immediately notice. Tears contain not only emotional release but also a sacred medicine for the soul. In the natural world, doctors confirm that crying reduces stress hormones, lowers blood pressure, and brings relief to the nervous system. But in the spiritual realm, crying opens a pathway for God's presence to step in and mend wounds that words cannot touch. Think about the moments when grief felt unbearable, but after crying, a strange peace covered you. That peace was not accidental, it was divine intervention. Healing often enters quietly, wrapped in tears. Chosen ones frequently underestimate how much their crying repairs the broken places of their spirit. What you think is weakness is actually a deep inner cleansing, where pain is washed away and strength is restored drop by drop. This is why many testimonies of healing, breakthrough, and renewal begin after seasons of weeping. Tears don't only water the soil of your soul, they prepare you for growth. Every major transformation in the life of a chosen one is often marked by tears. Whether it's leaving behind a toxic relationship, stepping into a new calling, or surrendering fully to God's will, those transitions are almost always soaked in tears. Crying symbolizes endings but also signals new beginnings. It's the breaking open of the old shell so that something greater can emerge. Think about a seed planted in the soil. It must break before it can grow into a tree. The same is true for the chosen one. Tears break you open, but in doing so, they allow light to enter. That's why after seasons of crying, you often discover strength you didn't know you had, clarity about decisions, and boldness to walk into unfamiliar territory. Tears mark the death of one version of you and the birth of another. If you reflect on your past, you'll likely notice that your biggest breakthroughs didn't come in moments of laughter, but in moments of crying. The tears were proof that you were shedding what no longer served you. They were sacred markers pointing to your transformation. When a chosen one cries, the effect doesn't remain with them alone. It ripples outward into the lives of others, sometimes in ways invisible at first. Because chosen ones are deeply connected to the spiritual and energetic fabric of the universe, their emotions carry frequencies that touch environments, people, and even nations. That is why your presence can shift the atmosphere in a room, and your tears can shift entire situations. Consider stories of mothers who wept in prayer for their children, only to see those same children transformed later in life. Or the countless testimonies of leaders who admitted that someone's prayers and tears kept them alive during their darkest battles. A chosen one's tears can ripple into another person's destiny, creating protection, awakening, or breakthrough without them ever knowing. The universe does not treat your tears as isolated moments, it treats them as catalysts. The ripple effect may take hours, months, or even years to manifest, but it will always leave an imprint. That's why your crying feels heavier than most. It carries weight beyond your own life. If you've ever noticed that spiritual attacks intensify when you're broken and weeping, it's because the enemy fears your tears. For the chosen one, crying is not defeat, it's dangerous to darkness. Every tear carries truth, purity, and raw faith that cannot be faked. The enemy knows that when you cry, you're drawing heaven's attention, and that attention always brings divine backup. Have you ever felt strangely empowered after crying, almost as though you'd gone through a spiritual battle and came out victorious? That's because your tears weaken the hold of negative energy. They break spiritual chains and expose lies. What the enemy intended to use to silence you actually becomes a roar that echoes in the heavens. That's why crying often leaves you with renewed courage. You've just fought a battle and won. Darkness trembles at your tears because they remind the enemy that you are not abandoned, you are chosen. Every drop of sorrow becomes evidence that you're still in the fight, still aligned with God, and still connected to destiny. When chosen ones cry, they build a bridge between heaven and earth. Tears are like offerings, carrying emotions upward while pulling divine grace downward. In biblical accounts, God often responded to tears faster than words, whether it was Hannah weeping for a child or David pouring out his sorrow in Psalms. Tears move heaven because they reveal the heart, and God always responds to what is authentic. In those moments of crying, you are not just emotional, you are spiritually aligned. Tears invite divine presence because they strip away ego, pride, and pretenses. They place you in a posture of surrender, which is the most powerful position for a chosen one. That's why after deep weeping, many experience prophetic dreams, visions, or sudden peace. It's heaven answering through the bridge your tears created. Your tears connect realms, pulling miracles into your reality. That's why they are never wasted, they always build something unseen. So the next time you cry, remind yourself, this is not weakness, this is connection. There are prayers you whisper with your lips, and then there are prayers you release through your tears. For the chosen one, crying is not just an emotional release. It is a sacred prayer that heaven cannot ignore. When words fail, when your voice trembles, and when silence feels heavy, your tears speak clearly to God. They carry the language of sincerity, vulnerability, and faith that no human tongue could fully express. In Scripture, many breakthroughs began with tears rather than words. Hannah's silent weeping moved God to bless her with Samuel. King Hezekiah's tears extended his life. These are reminders that your tears hold a voice far louder than you realize. They are vessels of truth, exposing your heart without disguise, and God always responds to a heart laid bare before Him. Every tear you shed has already reached heaven before it touched the ground. They are collected, remembered, and transformed into answers that shape your destiny. What may seem like moments of weakness in your room are, in fact, moments of great power in the courts of heaven. Tears wash away more than sadness. They cleanse the soul. When a chosen one cries, layers of burden are peeled back, allowing their spirit to breathe again. Emotional pain, bitterness, and exhaustion often cloud the heart, but tears flush them out, leaving behind clarity and peace. It is not by chance that crying often brings a sense of renewal, as if you've been spiritually washed. Scientists affirm that emotional tears contain toxins released during stress, proving that crying detoxifies the body. Yet, beyond the physical, a spiritual detox also takes place. With every tear, bitterness loses its grip, heaviness begins to lift, and the soul regains balance. Crying resets the heart and mind, restoring the chosen one's alignment with their divine path. This cleansing is what enables chosen ones to rise again even after devastating setbacks. Tears may leave the eyes swollen, but they also leave the spirit sharpened, lighter and stronger. Through them, the soul becomes pure enough to carry the next assignment with strength and grace. The tears of a chosen one are not wasted. They are seeds planted into the soil of destiny. Just as rain nurtures the earth to bring forth harvest, tears nurture the spirit to prepare for breakthroughs. What feels like loss in the moment is often the watering of something greater that is yet to bloom. Every tear carries intention, pain, and faith, and these are powerful ingredients for transformation. Throughout history, men and women who shifted nations and touched generations often did so after seasons of weeping. Tears marked the cost of their calling, but they also fertilized the path toward their victory. Without weeping, their breakthroughs would not have carried such depth and power. Crying prepares the chosen one to carry blessings with humility and wisdom. This is why many doors open after tears have been shed. It is the natural law of sowing and reaping manifesting in the spiritual. What was planted in sorrow often returns in joy, multiplied in ways beyond imagination. There is a noticeable shift in energy when a chosen one finishes crying. At first, the tears may feel overwhelming, heavy, and draining, but as the crying subsides, a different atmosphere surrounds them. The weight that once seemed unbearable lifts, and a strange calm replaces the chaos. This shift is not only psychological but deeply spiritual. It is the evidence of release and renewal. Energy is never lost, only transformed. Tears carry negative energy out of the body and spirit, making room for positive vibrations to take their place. That is why many people describe feeling lighter, more hopeful, and strangely empowered after a deep cry. It's as if crying sweeps the soul clean, preparing the heart for new strength to flow in. Chosen ones, especially, are sensitive to these shifts. Their tears not only clear their own energy, but also impact the atmosphere around them, creating peace where there was once tension. The shift after crying is often the quiet sign that healing has begun and that divine strength has been restored. Authority is not always seen in loud declarations or bold actions. Sometimes it is hidden in tears. For the chosen one, crying is a demonstration of authority that comes from authenticity. When they cry, they are not masking their emotions or pretending to be strong. They are embracing truth, and truth always carries weight. This authenticity disarms darkness and commands respect in the spiritual realm. The authority of tears lies in their purity. Unlike rehearsed speeches or surface-level gestures, tears cannot be faked. They are born from the depths of the soul, where motives are pure and intentions are real. This makes them powerful tools of spiritual authority, able to shift atmospheres and dismantle illusions. Every tear declares silently, "I am real, I am human, I am chosen." And that declaration echoes beyond the natural into realms unseen. Through tears, the chosen one exercises authority not by force but by surrender, which is one of the highest forms of spiritual strength. The tears of a chosen one are often the key that unlocks doors no human hand could open. Many breakthroughs are preceded by seasons of hidden weeping, times when no one saw the pain but heaven recorded every drop. In those secret cries, faith is being tested, humility is being formed, and patience is being refined. Destiny doors rarely swing open to pride, but tears have a way of softening the heart and preparing the spirit for what is coming. In the Bible, Joseph's story is marked by tears, tears of betrayal when his brothers sold him, tears of endurance in prison, and tears of reconciliation when he finally revealed himself to his family. Those tears were not wasted. They became the foundation for his destiny as a ruler. The same is true for every chosen one. Tears carve the path to promotion, even when it feels like suffering has no end. When those doors finally open, it becomes clear that every tear had purpose. What once felt like loss transforms into testimony, and the pain endured becomes a platform for influence. Tears open doors because they break pride, create surrender, and align the chosen one perfectly with the will of God. Tears are not only emotional but also prophetic. For the chosen one, crying often signals what is about to shift in their life or environment. Many times, deep tears come before a breakthrough, as if the soul already knows what the mind cannot yet comprehend. These tears act as prophetic markers, preparing the spirit for what heaven is about to release. In Scripture, prophets wept not only for themselves but for nations. Jeremiah, known as the weeping prophet, cried as a sign of what was coming for Israel. His tears were not empty. They were prophetic warnings and intercessions woven into one. Chosen ones today carry the same gift. When they cry, their tears often speak of unseen battles, victories, or revelations unfolding in the Spirit. This is why chosen ones sometimes cry without knowing exactly why. Their tears are responding to something their spirit has discerned ahead of time. Prophetic tears are a gift, signaling that heaven is speaking even when words cannot explain it. One of the hardest parts of being a chosen one is the isolation, the feeling that no one truly understands the weight you carry. But tears have a way of breaking that isolation. They connect you to humanity, to empathy, and to God's comfort in the most intimate way. Through crying, barriers fall, walls soften, and loneliness begins to dissolve. In moments of weeping, the chosen one realizes they are not as alone as they believed. The comfort of the Holy Spirit draws near, and sometimes unexpected people step in with compassion. Tears create bridges where isolation once built walls. Even in the quietest rooms, those tears summon presence, divine or human, that reminds the chosen one they are seen and valued. This is why tears are never just about sadness. They are instruments of connection. They open space for divine love to enter and for human hearts to draw near. Isolation breaks when tears fall, because in those moments, the truth of shared humanity and divine presence is undeniable. One of the most profound truths about the tears of a chosen one is that they are never forgotten. Psalm 56:8 declares that God collects tears in his bottle, keeping record of each one. This means every cry, every night of weeping, and every moment of sorrow has eternal value. No tear shed in pain is ever wasted. They all become part of the story heaven writes about your life. For many, this truth brings comfort. Even when others ignore or dismiss your pain, God remembers. Your tears are written into eternity, marked as proof of your endurance, your faith, and your battles fought in silence. They are not overlooked or erased. They are treasured as evidence of your journey as a chosen one. This eternal record means that every tear is redeemed. What was shed in sorrow will return in joy, not just in this lifetime but as part of your eternal legacy. In the kingdom of heaven, your tears stand as testimony of your faith and your resilience. Every tear a chosen one sheds carries them closer to their testimony. What begins as pain eventually transforms into purpose, and what once felt unbearable becomes the very story that inspires others. Tears are the building blocks of testimony, shaping the narrative of victory that only the chosen can walk. Without tears, testimonies lack depth. With them, they shine with authenticity and power. When others see your tears turn into triumph, they are reminded that struggle does not mean defeat. Your testimony becomes a beacon of hope, proving that brokenness can lead to beauty, and sorrow can lead to strength. This is why chosen ones must never despise their tears. They are the evidence of battles won and journeys survived. Through every tear, the chosen one becomes living proof that pain is temporary but destiny is eternal. Tears may fall in the night, but testimony rises in the morning. That is the journey of the chosen one, from tears to triumph, from sorrow to song, and from hidden pain to visible glory. Chosen one, if you've made it this far, know this. Your tears are not accidents, they are not weaknesses, and they are not forgotten. Every drop you've ever cried carried power, carried meaning, and carried divine purpose. What may have looked like brokenness was actually your soul speaking the language of heaven. The tears you've shed in silence have already echoed louder than your words ever could. Remember, your journey is unlike anyone else. You carry weight others do not, and that's why your tears hit harder, travel farther, and transform deeper. They are tools of healing, seeds of destiny, and weapons of warfare. The world may dismiss them, but heaven crowns them with purpose. Never again see your tears as shame. They are evidence that you are alive, chosen, and aligned with something far greater than yourself. This is why you must walk forward with courage. Your tears have already softened the soil of your path, and now the harvest is coming. The breakthroughs, the answers, the doors, the testimonies, they are closer than you think. Don't despise your tears, embrace them. They are the fingerprints of God on your spirit, reminding you that even in your most fragile moments, you are still divinely strong. And now I want to leave you with this. You are not alone in your journey. Every chosen one has felt the sting of silent tears and the weight of hidden battles. But here, in this community, we rise together. If this message touched your heart, let us know in the comments. Your words could be the comfort another chosen one needs today. Before you go, make sure to like this video, share it with someone who needs this reminder, and subscribe to Anointed Era. This channel exists to guide, uplift, and awaken you on your divine path. Together, we will continue to uncover the mysteries of being chosen and step into the fullness of our calling. Your tears have power. Now let your life testify to that truth.